Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise and I have a question from Victor. And Victor, I apologize. I pulled this out of the comments, copied it into Word and printed it out, and I don't know why, but it got stuck underneath other papers in my, viewer question folder. And I just realized that I hadn't answered it yet. So anyway, it's an excellent question. It says, I have a question for you. We all know Donald John Trump is in deep doo-doo with the insurrection and his finances in New York State, but I'm just dying to know if he will be held accountable for his dealings with the Russians, from the Mueller report to his last days leading up to the election. We all know he's dirty. Yeah, his behavior gives him away. Yep. I just want to know if he's going to be held accountable for selling us out to the Russians. Okay, so let's see what we can get with the tarot. It's already shuffled. Just have to draw the cards. I think that's our answer right there. Ah, yay! Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. I'll use the Kipper, too, just for fun, for some more details. But what I'm seeing so far, he's not going to get away with it. You know, when this card's upright, this is a peaceful, transitioning away from a really difficult time. When it's reversed, no. In fact, the way I read reversals often is that if a card's reversed, I often go back to the card before it to see what the lesson was there that hasn't been fully, worked through. And that's a Five of Swords, which is, conflicts, and it's the card of creating a lot of loss. It has to do with, just somebody who has been involved in their own, self-dealing, self-interest, which is Donald Trump. So no, he doesn't get to pass that Five of Swords. He's stuck in the Six of Swords reversed. Also, with the Seven of Cups reversed, well, man, dude is just in la-la land. I mean, he is confused, doesn't really have any good choices with this, and I think he feels kind of trapped. Because he missed some opportunities, I mean, yeah, he's been compromised for years, probably since the late 70s or at least the mid 80s, somewhere in there. But I think that he was from the get-go, because I really feel like his dad, I think that Fred Sr. was, caught up in the mob. So I think Donnie Boy was pretty much born into it. So here he is, stuck in fantasy land, always, thinking that he could get out of it, that he was untouchable, Teflon Don, and that is just not true. So I really like seeing this, because this tells me that we're going to see some, comeuppance in this lifetime. Also, with the Seven of Cups, if you go backwards and you go to the Six of Cups to see what the lesson is there, well, that's a very, family-oriented card, and it can have to do with like, family abuse and family trauma, childhood trauma. So he's not getting to get past any of that. And he's really, he's stuck right here. And I think he's probably going to be really confused and not know what to do with himself. And, like I said, just really feeling trapped. So, because he will be trapped, I think. He could have, once he learned he was compromised, or once he realized he was in this awful position with Putin, but he did become president, he could have, I mean, he would have all the protection in the world if he were to have come clean with it, and if he were to have been a confidential informant, for Putin. I mean, I really don't think that that's what's happening. I really don't think that he's been doing that because of these cards. That would have been his way out, though. If he would have done that way back when, 4 years ago when he first got in, if he would have worked with the FBI, if he would have worked with the CIA and other intel agencies, all this could have been turned around. But no, he protected Putin and he's, held fast. So this is his comeuppance. Now this, King of Wands, I think this is the law. I don't know how else to read it, honestly, because he is not a powerful natural leader. He's a failure. He's been, if we were to look at this card being him, it would have to be reversed, and this would show, his abusive tendencies and his bullying tendencies. But my question was, what is the future for him? Is he going to get away with it? I mean, basically, the question was laid out right here. Is he going to be held accountable? Well, yeah, because he's not going to get away with it. He's going to be trapped, and the law is coming down on him with a big stick. So there's the answer with tarot. Let's see what fun we can get into with the Kipper. All right. Okay. So, will he be held, or how will he be held accountable? Maybe it's a better question. Yeah, he's not happy. Wow. Okay. So it may take some time, but it may take some time for us to see justice. Oh, darn it. I wanted to, you know what? Hold on. I'm going to lift the camera up. I'll be right back. Okay. I always want to leave room for the closed captioning. I feel like it's the least I can do because I don't transcribe all my own videos, and what I really should do is enunciate a little more clearly so that YouTube can do a better job of understanding what I'm saying. Okay, so we have, actually let me scooch over a little bit and hopefully I can get rid of this glare. These cards are slick. They pick up glare. Yeah, that works. Okay, so for a theme here, I don't see this as a woman. I see this as him, because this is all about him. He's waiting. He's expecting something to happen. And we have to look at, directionally. He's expecting some problems, some getting caught, some he's got some major stress, and he might even be, I really doubt he's sleeping well, honestly. This is like, this card is the same as, here, you'll recognize it the second I pop it out. This card right here. It's just like this card. Like, oh no, what have I done? Uh-oh, It's a really challenging card. So he's expecting something to come, because he knows he's guilty. He's expecting something to come through, and it has to do with money that's been exchanged. Money that he's taken. This could also be how he's like just speculated. I feel like there's the element of like gambling. I mean, because look at it. I mean, just check out the image. This is a slot machine, right? And it's usually money that you don't have to work for. That's the nature of this card. So this, to me, is his money laundering. He's expecting to get caught for the money laundering. So it's probably some RICO charges are coming down on him. I mean, we have to go with, yeah, he's expecting to get busted for this business contract that he's had with Putin. And he's in a lot of stress over it because this card knights to this card. Now, I'm a little surprised to see Melania involved here. But of course she is. She's just as transactional as he is. She might be a little more afraid of Putin than he is. But then again, might be a little smarter than he is. So he's got this expectation of it could take some time, but he's certainly going in that direction. And he has the expectation, he's looking forward. Well, let me dive into this card a little bit more because I think I just kind of skated over it. So this has to do with, because this is a person looking out the window, it can be like being watched. It's like that same, I don't know if I'll be able to pop it out in here very quick, but the eyeball, well, hell, I'm not very bright. See the eye here? There's a card in this deck that is just the eye. It's the same, it means the same thing here. Somebody's been watched, somebody's watching. So I think he's been watched. I think surveillance has been out on him for a long time. And I think that's what Letitia James and Cy Vance Jr. have on him. It has to do with his finances, and I think all the money that he's taken in all his life, it's going to be revealed. And I think it could happen soon, and maybe it just puts him away for a long time, or it could be that it's possible that that his place wherever he's living is bugged, because he still has Secret Service detail. It's possible that they're watching him because this is his intimate, space. And he's not here. He doesn't show up because he's the main man, but this is some other wealthy man who's intimately involved with him. I mean, this is like his private, area. It's a place where he feels safe. But these other cards around here don't tell me that because he's just like Victor says, in a lot of deep doo-doo, and he knows it. And he knows why, and the cards are telling us why right here. And that's what he's so concerned about. I mean, this is a card of helplessness. This is a card of deep, deep insecurity. To the point even that you can't concentrate because this is all you can think of. It's like all-consuming. And this is court. So this is a card of depression as well. You can't really see it in this with this deck. It doesn't bring in the you can tell the guys, he's concentrating on something else. But it can have to do with that constant obsessing and just kind of like mulling over something. You can't stop thinking about it. And the wealthy man, maybe the wealthy man is Putin. And Putin's been in his head for years. Maybe this family room is like, you know, all the space that in Donald John Trump's head that Putin's been taking up. I don't know who else this wealthy man would be, unless it's some other connection that helps with the money laundering that he's been involved with. This could even relate to way back when with the, what was it, like Taj Mahal or whatever, the casino that he had in Atlantic City that went under. You know, because we do have the slot machine here. So if this isn't Putin, it could be somebody else that helped him out. But anyway, I feel like RICO charges here. I feel money laundering with this adjudication card. I mean, this is going before a judge. If it's not a judge, it's at least an investigator. It's also the IRS. This is someone who makes a decision, and it's not pretty. This is someone who causes a lot of stress. It's really serious, serious problems here. And of course, he's concerned about it. If this isn't Putin, then, and if it is him, then this would just show all the money that he's made over the years. You know, money laundering. And they may have, I mean, I know for sure what they've got on him is insurance fraud and tax fraud. Even though we don't have the thief card in here that would show the fraud, we already know, so we didn't need it. Where we're looking at, I drew these cards based on the question is what is coming down on him. So this could be, well, Putin's not going to bail on, I mean, they're not going to turn him in, but this could be another wealthy man that helps turn him in, who's intimately connected, and that's why he's so concerned. That's why Trump is so worried. And he literally is expecting to be hauled into court or to be, you know, this to be taken down from him. So he knows it's coming. This is, it's telling it right here. Now this card, and I often look at the last card as being the answer card. This, I think, is just telling us about the timing, that it could take quite some time. You know, it's usually the 2 or more years card. And it's also a card of you know, because it takes so long and you're tracking back and forth up the path, that it's a gradual process. But eventually, yeah, eventually he's going bye-bye, or at least all his assets. I mean, if he gets busted for money laundering, wow. But at least all his assets being seized, that would do it. That reminds me, I have notes. Oh yeah, here they are. Yeah, okay. So you guys know that I follow Heather Cox Richardson. She does I think it's called Letters from an American. She's an excellent writer. But anyway, I printed out one day because I have a really hard time just reading stuff online all the time. My eyes burn. I have all the, you know, blue light shields. I have all kinds of stuff. But if I were to read everything that I want to read to learn and do it online on my you know, devices, you know, like phone and iPad or whatever, you know, whatever you guys use, our eyes would just be burned out. So I often print out her letters when it's a real good one, and then, you know, pick out pieces of it. And that's what I did with this one. So she was talking about, and this is way back, I don't remember like how long ago, probably a few months ago, where she was saying that Congress put the Corporate Transparency Act into it. There's a measure that they're passing, or maybe they already did. But anyway, She's saying it'll undercut the country's plague of so-called shell companies, which enable money laundering and other criminal activity because they are owned and operated in secret. The new measure will require that all owners and operators of such companies be clearly identified. This will likely impact the Trump family, which uses shell companies. And so do all those other GOP, you know, those guys that went to Russia. You know, they're all in on it. They're all taking money. They're all bought and paid for. And they probably all have offshore accounts. That's, you know, that's the shell company, and that's how the money laundering is, you know, happens. It gets laundered twice, and so it can't be traced. So they're cracking down on that. So anyway, his future doesn't look good, and I'm happy to say that I believe that it will be, you know, he will be held accountable in this lifetime for him. I don't have the imprisonment card here, you know, that I would have liked to have seen, but you know, I've gotten it so many other times for him, and it doesn't always mean locked up. This is the card. It doesn't always mean locked up. It could just mean, yeah, it's a nice image, huh? God, nice little rat there. It can sometimes just mean being stopped and restricted. So, yeah, let's just trust that justice will finally come through at some point, and we can look forward to that. Okay, you guys, that's all I have. Thank you. Bye.